Hi, it's Joelle. I am really excited tonight because I'm going to go live with Liza Rankow in California. Her book, Soul Medicine for a Fractured World, is coming out. Hey, Ellen. Hey, Amanda. I'm going to go live with Liza Rankow, who did my book proposal academy program in 2022, 2023, something like that. And we are going to talk about her book and her path to publishing. So I can see she's in the stream. She's just going to request to join. Oh, there she is. Great. All right. Okay. So Liza's joining us from California. And I'm going to do better at holding this camera straight. Hey, Liza.
Hey, Joelle.
Thanks for your patience. I had
Of
some
course.
connectivity issue. Hey, Kara. We have some familiar faces joining in the chat. People I work with and fans of books and would-be authors. So welcome, everybody, and welcome, Liza.
Thank you. And I'm just trying to rig up some kind of way to hold the phone
Yeah, I have my arm
without my
resting on the
hands.
stand. Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, it's great to have you here today. Thank you so much for hopping on.
Yeah, thank you for the invitation. I'm honored to be here.
Yeah, and I'm so excited for your book.
Thank you. Me too.
It's an accomplishment, as everyone here knows. It's an accomplishment
It
to
is.
see it all the way through.
It is a journey.
It is a journey. It is a journey. So for those of you who don't know Liza, I'm going to give a very tiny introduction. There's so much more I could say.
Mhm.
Go check out her website, lizarankow.com
Dot
for
org.
more.
Dot org.
Org, sorry,
Mhm.
lizarankow.org. But I will just tell you, just a little bit off the cuff, that Liza is an activist, longtime activist, a writer, a teacher, a spiritual counselor, and someone who has learned from the very best activists in the world over a long period of time. So she has a lot to share with all of
Mhm.
us. And there's so much of that in her forthcoming book, which is coming out
Mhm.
this month, November, from Orbis Books.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Liza.
Thank you, Joelle. And thank you for helping to get me here. Really.
Yeah,
I showed up to BPA 3 years ago
yeah,
with a manuscript that I thought was finished.
yes, yes.
And what I learned was how much I had to learn.
Hmm.
So, my BPA experience really helped not only hone the book, but hone me. Um,
Yes.
yeah.
And that's what it is. So we trick you into coming to work on your book, and then you end up working on the deeper issues that are there for all of us.
Hmm. Hmm. I
And
rem- I was
I was
going to
just
say
gonna,
I
we're talking over each other. Just for those of you who don't know, BPA stands for Book Proposal Academy. And I have a little program starting on Wednesday that's kind of the first step towards BPA. So we're excited to start that on Wednesday. But I wanted to ask you if you could tell us just very briefly, at a high level, what is
Sure.
soul medicine for a fractured world?
Sure. The book explores how we can meet these times of global upheaval with purpose, with wisdom, and even with love. And how, in the face of everything that's before us, the intersecting crises, everybody has very good clarity, I'm sure, on all
Yeah.
that is before us.
Yes.
But we can become agents of healing and transformation.
Mm.
That our inner personal transformation and the collective social transformation are deeply entwined,
Hmm.
and that we must engage both.
Yeah, that
And
is
and
profound.
and here's how.
Oh, yes,
Right?
yes. Hold it up. Hold it up. Let's see the cover.
I just happen to have a copy right here.
Beautiful cover.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
I remember when you were working on it, it seemed very timely, and now it's only become more timely
Yeah.
in the past few years. So I wanted to go back to speak to something you said at the beginning, which is that often we come to the book process thinking we're done, we're ready to take the next step, and then there's a winding
Mm-hmm.
road.
Yes.
And there's always a sense of urgency, right? My book has to come out. The time is now.
Exactly what I said. That it's already late.
It's
It's
already
already,
late.
the moment will pass. And
That's
little
right.
did we know that the moment would become even more acute. And it is, of course, coming right on time. So,
Exactly,
yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly. That's one of the profound things that authors learn as they go through their authorship process, right? There's the inner
Mm-hmm.
urgency, and there's like the words divine timing, but not really the belief anymore.
Right.
And then when the book comes out, often, I can't say always, but
Mm-hmm.
often there is a
Mm-hmm.
revelation of, oh,
Yeah.
actually, this is the right time.
Yeah.
So I'd love to learn more from you a little bit about your book journey, as much as you care to share with us,
Mm-hmm.
of how did you find your publisher? How did your manuscript go through that process? What was that like for you? It's very helpful to know from a lived
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah. Well, I want to tag it back to what I said earlier is that you not only helped develop the book, but helped develop me. Because
Uh-huh.
part of why I enrolled in Book Proposal Academy was one of your promotional things said, go from being from a writer to being an author.
Yeah.
And you broke down the difference between those two. And I was a writer, but I was not at that time an author. And
Mhm.
I had no idea of anything about the publishing industry, no idea what being an author really meant, distinct from being a writer.
Uh-huh.
And it has been a steep learning curve and a winding road if I can mix those two travel
Let's
metaphors
mix
at the
them.
same time. So after after I finished BPA and did a lot of rearranging of the book while I was there, I shopped my proposal to agents. Right, I was looking for an agent, and I spent about a year looking for agents, and I queried a lot of people. At that time, many of them just didn't get what I was trying to do. I think now would be a lot more
Now is a
receptive.
hot market. Yes. Oh my
But at
gosh.
that time, people were like, what do you mean? Mix spirituality, healing, social justice, pick one. And the point was that no, we need all. They're
Yeah.
all connected. And the agents that liked the project basically said, well, you don't have a platform large
Mm-hmm.
enough
Mm-hmm.
for us to invest all of
Mm-hmm.
what this takes in you.
Yeah.
And after hearing that for a year, I made a list of smaller and medium-sized publishers that would accept a direct submission from an author
Mm-hmm.
rather than requiring an agent.
Mm-hmm.
And then I made a list of who I knew at each of those publishing houses who had a book from there. So at many of them, I actually knew somebody.
Oh, amazing.
Made such a difference, right?
Yes.
Because
The network.
when there's a warm introduction, when my friend who published with you,
Yes.
right, sends the proposal on my behalf and says to their editor, hey, can you have a look at this? I think you might be interested, is a much more direct entree
Yes.
than just being one of the gazillion emails in the inbox of the intern that may or may not ever get looked at.
Absolutely.
And so that was what ultimately led to my success. I was turned down by a couple,
Mm-hmm.
and then a colleague sent my proposal to Orbis, and the publisher, Robert Ellsberg, top dog in the responded within an hour and said, we're really interested in this and we'd love to talk with you. And off we went.
Amazing.
So, it was about the right time and about the right fit.
Yes.
It
Absolutely.
also helped you know, Orbis has a partial subsidy.
Hmm.
So they really didn't care about my platform. They cared about the quality of the work.
Amazing.
And that was what I needed, you know? Yeah,
That's such a good home for you and
it
for
is.
many books that are coming with like a lot of heart and a lot of
Mm-hmm.
soul.
Mm-hmm.
And at this time
Yeah.
where they don't want to be as commercial as maybe the top agents are looking for, that big deal
Mm-hmm.
that's going to have that big advance at the big publisher. And then
Yeah.
it has to reach the widest audience. So it has to be within these certain narrow um, constrictions or requirements.
Mm-hmm.
And there's still a real need for these heart and soul based books.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So amazing and congratulations.
Thank you.
Really well done. As you know, I like to say the only thing that authors need is to not give up. And you certainly did not. You did not give up.
I did not give
You
up.
did not give up.
It has been,
Yes.
yeah. And along the way, because I had the year of shopping agents and then I had a good while of shopping publishers as well. I was in a very slow motion, long back and forth with a couple of different ones that were interested, but trying to figure out how they position it and, all the things.
Yeah.
So during that time, I continued to edit and polish. You did some editorial work on it when I was working with you. I
Yeah.
also engaged another contracting editor. And so the book really continued to grow, to be refined. And I'm so grateful that I didn't publish it in 2022. That
Yay.
if that manuscript had seen the light of day, I would be ashamed forever, Ultimately, the manuscript I submitted to Orbis, even that went through radical changes in the
Mm-hmm.
process with them.
Mm-hmm.
That I think it was about 4,000 words at that point. And
Mm-hmm.
from a production cost standpoint,
Yeah.
their sweet spot was 50.
Oh, wow. That's a lot
And
of cutting.
so we met, we met in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and, but it wasn't just a matter of cutting. It was also rewriting and shifting and transforming. And even as late as handing in my final draft before I went to typesetting, I was making changes and rewriting. So it's an amazing journey. It
Yeah.
really is. And I'm kind of in awe of the magic part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, one of my endorsers is my friend Alice Walker. And
Yes.
she, at one point, I saw something she had written that was something like, writing is magic. Where does it even come from? And that's how I felt about so much of this process, that the words would just bloom from somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And it's humbling. I feel like I'm in partnership with something larger than I am.
I'm so glad that even after the winding path you've been on, you can still say that. Like it's still the magic coming through, even with the
It
cutting,
is.
even with I thought it was done. Actually, it's really not done.
It's a better book. It's a better book for the cutting. It's a better book for the rewriting. And now the magic part in terms of promotion and outreach, which
Yeah.
is not my place of comfort.
Yeah.
But there's magic in that too, in seeing how people are responding, to have other people read it and
Yeah.
find value. I'm seeing a question in the
Yes.
chat about
I
my
mean,
background.
yeah. Maybe we can get to that at the end, Amanda. I
Sure.
did a little brief intro at the beginning, and we can circle back to that at the end because I just want to
Mm-hmm.
ask Liza you a couple more questions
For sure.
um, about the process. So it's writing a book and publishing a book can be really hard on the ego. And it sounds like you got through it okay, even though I'm sure there were times when you were exasperated, as that sigh might suggest. Um, what
And
kept you in?
disappointed. Yeah, and
Yeah,
disappointed and deflated and grieving and all the things, But
what helped you to keep going? What was it that kept you going?
I think it was a sense of the value of the content.
Yeah.
That this is not just, a fluff project for me, that this is really a legacy project for me.
Right.
In this season of my life in particular.
Right.
And in the urgency of the world at this time.
Yeah.
That what can I contribute that might be meaningful, that might make a difference in the lives of people I don't know.
Right.
And so I persevered because I had a sense that this was mine to do.
There's a calling. There's a deep calling
very
for
much.
the book, no matter what you had to go through to get it to come out.
And I'll share also that in some of my more despairing moments, I looked at other options, right? Other pathways. So if I get rejected by all of the traditional publishers, what's the best hybrid program?
Right.
Where is there like the assisted independent publishing path? So really knowing that there were options, I think helped keep my spirits somewhat shored up.
Yes.
That it wasn't like this was the only path. And if this path didn't pan out, then, I was just hopeless. But that there were different paths to bring the book into the world.
Yeah, that's so important to keep your spirits up, to know like, okay, well, it doesn't all rest in this one option.
Right.
I have other options.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you're really on a mission, you have a mission like you do, it helps you to feel like, okay, well, we're going to try this, and then we're going to see, and then we're going to go forward from there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I can imagine that there are lots of people, like Amanda's saying, who are eager for the contents of this book and really, really hungering for what you have to say in this time. And what I know from other authors is that, yes, it feels great to be published by one of the big five in New York, but often all you need is a book, because from there you can go to conferences, you can go to festivals, you can be on panels, you can be on podcasts, because you have the book. And now it's really, your how you go forward with it. And like we can think about Eckhart Tolle, whose first book came out with a tiny little publishing company in Vancouver that nobody really had heard about outside of a very small yoga world, and that look what happened to that. So lots of good things can happen even from a very small press, just to have that book. So that was just a reflection and not really a question.
No. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. So what's one thing about the book you're really feeling great about right now?
That it exists.
Yes.
When I held it in my hands, it was like, oh my God. First I thought, it's so small.
Right.
Because what went into it was like, I should have been like a big dictionary, or something. It felt that voluminous to me in the writing. But yeah, and I think the timing factor, because I was just so sure that I was late, in when I came to you. And when I first started pitching, and it's like every delay, I felt like, no, and who knew that there would be a second Trump regime and that the world would be collapsing and on fire, which is things I talked about in the book, and people were like, oh no, just wait for the next election. But I think now folks, they get it. I don't even have to explain why this is important, why this is of value, and why this is timely.
Yeah.
Because we're living in the middle of that.
The title really says it all. Soul medicine in a fractured world. It really tells us what we need and what we're going to get from your wisdom.
Yeah. And the title journey is a whole other thing. You remember my title pitch during BPA. And this was not the original title. But Orbis wasn't in love with my original title. And the process, the magic of the process that when this title kind of rose up and then I reread the book, it was like, how could it have been any other title? This title is so descriptive of what the book turned into being.
Yes.
And there's just the element of magic is not to be underestimated.
I agree. I really agree. And it's a great title. It's very evocative without, it's not at all pedantic. It's not, it's got mystery, but it's clear. It's inviting. It's really, it's a successful title, I would say, for sure.
Thank you.
So what are you excited about for this book?
Oh, I am excited if it reaches people that it can nourish. You know, really, that's kind of been, somebody asked about my previous life, so there's a good segue, right?
Okay, great.
My previous life is varied, but the through line really is around healing, spirituality, and social justice. And for almost 20 years, that took the form of a nonprofit organization that provided spiritual care for frontline activists and people in service to the community. But I reached whoever I reached, you know, mostly here in Oakland. It's a finite number of people. Mm-hmm. The book allows me to reach without walls, without borders.
Yeah.
And that probably feels like the greatest gift.
Like a big door opening.
May it go forth.
Yes.
You know? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. We have a lot of aspiring writers here on the live. What's one piece of wisdom you could offer them on their writing and publishing journey?
Don't give up.
Mm-hmm.
Don't give up. It's a relationship, you know, with the book. The book from the beginning had a life of its. I had my ideas,
yeah,
but the book had its own life and its own purpose and its own agenda and clearly its own timing and its own title, apart from whatever I thought, and its own publishing house. Like it's like this is where it was supposed to be.
Right,
so,
right.
And so, trust the wisdom of the book to guide you.
Yeah, that's
as a
very
writer.
Helpful.
As
yes.
a writer, it's not all, you know, it feels like I have to make this happen, but you're in a relationship with a creative being that has life and can guide and lead us and can open doors.
It's so true. That is where the magic is, and it's there with you when you're on the path. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Amanda, I hope Liza answered your question. And if not, you can go to her website, lizarankow.org, and there's a lot more information there, and you can see Liza's work and dig deep and find more. Liza, it's been a delight to have you with us live tonight. Thank you so much for joining. When does it go on sale, your book?
It is on pre-sale now.
It's on pre-sale.
You can order it online. You can order it from brick and mortars. You could actually even get it direct from Orbis at this point. They have it. But it will be, the orders will be fulfilled from all the places 26th of November.
Oh, right around Thanksgiving.
Yep. 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Basically.
Soul medicine for a fractured world. And you're going to have to fill in the subtitle for me. Healing,
justice, and the path of wholeness.
Right.
And I will say this beautiful image is by a woman named Laura Loescher, and she does these gorgeous earth altars.
Oh wow!
And so she's worth looking up to.
Okay, shout out to the cover art as well.
Yeah.
Hey Kimberly, thanks for joining. Just caught the tail end talking to Liza Rankow about her upcoming book coming up from Orbis Books. It's nice to have you here. Thanks everyone for joining us live. And if you're on my email list, I will send out a replay a little bit later this week so you can catch any parts of it you missed, or go and buy Liza's book, check out her website, and enjoy all her wisdom
Mm.
lived and gathered through many journeys, soul-felt, heartfelt journeys over the year. And congratulations to Liza. Thank you so much for coming,
Mm.
and congratulations. May this book do a world of good.
Thank you so much, Joelle. I appreciate from the first conversation with you until now and beyond. You are a gift. So thank you.
Everyone's saying thank you, and it's very
Oh,
inspiring.
thank you, everybody. Keep the faith. You can do it.
Yes, you can do it. Don't give up.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.